Hey, what's up? John Sonmez from SimpleProgrammer.com. So I got this question. I'm not going to say the name because it's kind of a unique first name, but this question says, "Hi, John. First off, thanks for your videos and other material. Just finished listening to Soft Skills and have been recommending to many people in my network. Your authenticity when speaking is not only effective in building trust, it's so much easier for me to absorb knowledge when it's coming from an authentic person." Well, I definitely really appreciate that. That's one of the things that I try to be, that I value more than anything else, is to be authentic. So to know that you feel I'm doing that really means a lot to me. If you're interested, by the way, and you want to get what he's talking about here, I have an audio version of Soft Skills, Software Developers Life Manual. You can get that at audible.com, and I added some extra insights as I narrated it myself, and I added some extras in there for you for the audio version. So anyway, he says, here is my question for you. I started learning web development 5 months ago and just got my first job as a part-time junior front-end developer. I make $30 an hour for about 20 hours a week, so about $25K a year. I have an inclination towards long-term moving into software development and away from web development because the salaries are higher, and I think I like back-end type of logic more than front-end logic. But since my experience so far is in web development, I feel like it might make sense to get a goal of getting a full stack or back-end web dev job making $70K a year within the next year. That could happen at another company or at my current company, perhaps, if I got a full-time offer. Does it make sense to set a short-term goal that isn't directly in line with a long-term goal? It feels more accessible to achieve that short-term goal of a $70K job in web development because I'm already in the field. But I'm aware that feeling has just been an illusion in the past in my career. So this is interesting. Long-term, I'm gonna have to interpret a little bit here, but long-term goal setting versus short-term goal setting, and what if your short-term goal is sort of out of the realm of your long-term. So in this case, I'm expecting that your long-term goal is to do the kind of back-end software development that you want to do, and you're viewing web development as a short-term goal that you can achieve. And so you're wondering, is it weird? Like, can I divert from the path to get to where I want to get? And I'm going to try and fill in the gaps here for you. So you don't want to go in different directions, right? But sometimes the direction that you go is based on the path of least resistance and what you need to get to where you want to go. So for example, if my goal is to hike a mountain trail, and I am at the base of the trail, and in order to hike that trail, I need some water or some supplies, and I go and get those supplies, I'm not going out of the path of the goal. Does that make sense? Like, I'm not diverting from the path. I'm actually taking the path. That's the path that has to go. It might seem like I'm going a different path, so it's not. It's actually part on the trip, because if I just went to try to climb this mountain and I don't have any supplies, I'm gonna die. So is this on your path? Right? This is the question you have to ask yourself. Is sometimes it doesn't just have to logically line up. Sometimes maybe you need something. Maybe you need some more experience or development, personal development. Maybe you need money, right? Maybe you need to get a better job to get enough money to be able to then give yourself some runway, or to get some training in order to be able to get to the thing that you want to get. So you got to think about that. What I would challenge you, though, is to think about the difference between short-term goals that divert you, that are very short-term in nature and their effects, and the long-term goal. And I think that's maybe where you're at, is you're trying to decide. Maybe you feel like you're chasing the money, and that's going to it's not going to contribute to your long-term goal, but it'd be nice to make that $70K a year. So I mean, you're gonna have to decide that for yourself. But some of the biggest mistakes I think we make in life are the ones where we want a short-term gain that doesn't contribute to our long-term gain, right? When we make this trade-off. So if your long-term goal is to become a back-end web developer, and you say, well, there's more money in web development, and I'm going to take this job, and you don't feel like you need the money in order for your journey, and you don't feel like the experience is going to be useful, and you're just, like, well, it'd be nice to have more money this year, then that might not be a good choice, right? Because then that short-term goal is going to have closer to immediate effects. You're going to have short-term effects, but those aren't going to be long-lasting effects. The things that you want to do in life are the things that echo, right? Have you ever been in a cavern and you yell and it echoes throughout the time, echoes throughout your life. And if you do things that echo throughout your life, for example, when I created simpleprogrammer.com and wrote some of the blog posts I write, some of those blog posts are still echoing through time. There's still more people are reading them and coming to the site or coming here to the YouTube channel and watching the videos. So you want to do as many of those things as possible, and that's how you kind of know the difference between a short-term and a long-term goal. Is that, and if those goals are in alignment, right? If you feel like you're going to do something short-term, set a short-term goal that looks like it might be a diversion, but it's going to have an impact on your long-term goal and echo throughout your life, might be good to do. One last thing I would encourage you. Maybe sometimes you kind of have to go where the current takes you, right? If you're always fighting the current, you're always struggling against it, it's going to be difficult in life. But maybe you've got an opportunity to get into web development to make some more money, and maybe you'll like that, and maybe that should be the goal that you pursue. Maybe that should be your long-term goal. Long-term goals can change, by the way, right? This is another thing I'll put out there is when we plan our goals, one of the most effective ways to plan our goals is we should have goals, but our 1 year goal or like 6 months goals, those should be pretty static, right? Those things we're going to nail down, we're going to hit that because we're aiming directly for that target, right? But as we hit a 3 year or 5 year goal, feel free to revise. Every year you should be revising that based on where you are now. So, if you hit your 1 year goal and then you reevaluate your goals, your 5 year goal might change. My 5 year goal is always changing. It's always different, but at least I have something out there that's giving me that general direction and alignment, even though I'm always revising it and changing it. Don't just like create a 5 year goal and stick to it and be like, this is it, right? Be willing to revise that. Don't jump all over the place. But again, life is going to change, you're going to grow, you're going to develop as a person. And if you hold on to the same goals you had when you were a different person 5 years ago or even 1 year ago, those goals aren't going to align with who you are now, because we're always growing, or hopefully we are. If we're not growing, we're dying. So anyway, I would just encourage you to think about that, and not to say I absolutely have to have this unless you're sure that you do, and maybe be open to the fact that maybe web development or going down that direction might be a good path for you to go. Maybe you take that opportunity and see where it goes, and you can still have that 5 year goal of what you want. So anyway, I hope that helps you. This is it's a difficult situation. I think a lot of people face this. Just don't make, don't be, I would say, penny wise and pound foolish. Don't make like short-term choices. Don't like take the money now that is going to hurt you later on. As long as you're not doing that, as long as you're not doing things where you're sabotaging yourself later on to get a benefit now, you're going to be in good shape. It doesn't matter what you do, as long as you're looking for the long term. Always look for the long term for it. So anyway, thanks for the email, and I appreciate you sending me emails. All of you that do. I wish I could answer every single email, but I do try to answer a lot of them. If you are enjoying these videos, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and take care. Have a great day.